All right. So the topics for yesterday, what all did we look at yesterday? Let's quickly have a quick recap of what we did. We were getting settled with the basic concepts of Excel, the difference between worksheet and workbook. We tried to identify the different parts of the screen. We looked into what is a ribbon, the different selection techniques, right? We discussed how we can enter a data into a range of cells. We discussed how we can quickly adjust the column width, plus things like the different options we get when we try to print the Excel sheet, right? So from here, and then we looked into some formulas, right? So what we are going to do is from today, we are going to carry on from that topic. I hope you have Excel sheet with you and most of you are taking the session from your laptop itself. The reason is you can do some of the activities which I am doing with me itself so that it is easy for you and you can also practice. Okay, so the first topic for today that we are going to discuss is how we can change the row height. This is again something which is very commonly used concept. So we will be definitely picking up today. We discussed yesterday that in a particular Excel sheet, let me now share my Excel sheet as well. Yes, often we'll take up doubts in a minute, right? Let me just start with the topics first and then I'll start definitely picking up doubts as well. Okay. All right. I hope your all Excel sheets are started. A blank workbook will do. I yesterday shared some Excels with the data. If you have that, that will also help you. Okay. Any of the sheet will help you. So yesterday we talked about the cells. We discussed how cells are created. We discussed how do you name a cell, right? Based on the intersection of the rows and the different columns. So all those things we basically have covered yesterday. So when we talk about the row heights, they are often changed to make space between the columns. Sometimes you make totals or particularly when you have written some titles or data, row heights will be very, very useful in Excel in that case. So you can change the row height using a mouse or a ribbon. I'll show you both the ways, and we will then see the auto fit feature which we have in Excel, which will help us to adjust the height automatically. So manually or automatically, these two options we have to explore together as a team. And one more option, we can use it through the formats option menu. All right. So we will be doing some steps now, which I'm going to share in a minute. And by now, I hope all those who have attended yesterday's seminar, you are quite comfortable with when I would use the terms like ribbon or when I'll use different terminologies, different sections of Excel. I'm very sure you're all comfortable. If you have any questions, you can write it in the chat. So this is the first thing that we are going to do. We are going to talk about how we can change the row height. So these are the two methods you can see on my screen. And I would request all of you to try both these methods. Let me make the font little bigger. Let's try both these methods in which these are the different steps which we have to follow one by one. The very first step is select the row in which you want to change the height. So very quickly, I'm going to open my Excel sheet also, and I'm going to show these steps as well to all of you. So we'll select this row, and this lower part of the format button, we have to click on the cells group. So if you look into these groups, these are the different groups we discussed, right? Clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, and cells. If you click on this cells group, in the cells group, if you click here, format option is there, right? If you click on this, you see an option called as row height. When I click on this row height option, I can provide a number here. So what I entered here is a number 45. So you can see that this particular row height has changed, right? This is the step. This is the step number one that we can use. The second thing all you can do is using your mouse also. If I open the Excel sheet, I can drag and make it bigger or smaller. So how about doing the same thing with the row 3, right? This is the another way we can do it. So I leave these steps shared with you, and I would request all of you to do this step. Write done in the chat once it is done. Let me just go back to those steps. Please write done in the chat once it's done, and let's move on to the next bit. Okay, I can see a lot of dones. Excellent, superb. The next thing that we want to talk about is, because we are looking at the formatting options, we are going to talk about how we can format different cells in the worksheet. The main reason, why do we change? Couple of reasons. For some reason, you want to enhance the appearance of your data, or you want to improve the readability. These two reasons are there because of which you will format your cells in the worksheet. So when I talk about formatting, it can be done before or after you have entered the data. So consider a scenario where you already have huge amount of data in your Excel and you're about to plot a graph based on the data you've got. So in this case, just before you plot the graph, you would like to do the formatting, right? That is one case. The second case is when you have a blank Excel sheet and just before you enter your data, you're very sure what kind of data you want to appear to have appeared on your Excel sheet. In that case, you can do the formatting even before you enter the data. All right. So there are different formats that we have in Excel. By default, whenever you create a new worksheet, you will have a general format, right? Which are integers, which are decimal fractions, which are even some scientific notations. So particularly in most cases, Excel's abilities to assign formats which will be helpful for you. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk about these different formats which are available. So if you look at this snapshot, these are the different formats which you can apply. You've got a number, you've got an alignment, you've got font, border, fill, protection. And most of the, these words, they're very close to English language. So you quite understand what exactly it is doing. So for example, if I go to alignment, the word alignment means I want to align the text where exactly the text should be there, right? So there are a couple of options which we are going to talk about. Similarly, font, border, these are some of the other options which are available. Let's quickly do some steps to get a hang of it. So what we are going to talk about is this ribbon method first of all. So what you have to do in order to format, select the cells you want to format. So what I will do is I will click on this Excel sheet and I've got this cell. What I will do is click on this, and inside this, if you double click also, you will get some options. If you double click on this and if you click on the format button on the cells group on the home ribbon itself, you can select the option format cells. And as you click on the format cells option, what it will do, it will show you a dialog, something that I showed you, right? From there on, you can make the modifications in your Excel sheet. This is the quick exercise which we will be working on. We will be working on the workbook March 2009. In fact, this is not specifically you want to do with this only. You can do this exercise with any worksheet. All right. So you will select the cells C6 to 611. If that cell is not there in that particular worksheet, you can select any cell. And then click the format button. Make sure the number page is selected. In the category list box, select the currency. And finally, in the negative number list box, select the third format. All right. I want all of you to try these exercises, which I'm giving it to you. If you have done it, please write done in the chat. All right. Let me wait for all of you to complete this bit. Yes, Kushbu, this is a beginner level workshop. Ayushi, this is a beginner level workshop on Excel, right? We cannot go directly on to advanced level because we want to bring everybody on the same page first of all. So this is a beginner level, dear, and then once we are comfortable, we will definitely arrange for an advanced level workshop. At Skillslash, we keep doing a lot of workshops to get connected to the community, to guide the community around us. So we do a lot of workshops. So we do workshops on Python, Tableau, Power BI, lots of workshops we will do. So yes, we will definitely plan for an advanced workshop level as well. Okay, I can see many dones. Nothing to worry if you're taking this session from your mobile devices. It's absolutely fine. You can look at the recordings and you can complete them later as well. Okay, that is not a problem. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to talk about, how we can add different fonts in an Excel. What is a font? A type style that you can apply to the data, isn't it? Let me show you that section. Please have a look at it. the different styles that you can apply to a data is nothing but a font. So whenever I talk about font, it is expressed in terms of two things. One is your font name and the second is the size. Can anybody write it in the chat? What is the difference, name and size? Superb. Fonts are the type styles. Very good. Font and font size are different. One will tell you what kind of font you are basically making, and the second is the size, how much bigger or smaller. So in Excel sheet, you got different types of fonts like Courier, Times Roman, Arial. These are different types of fonts having. And then there are different font sizes which are measured in points. Okay. Now, the larger your point size is, the larger the font is going to be. That is how this font size works. Now, the different fonts that we've got is Arial. You can see on the screen, this is the format cell options where you can actually modify the different fonts. So now I'm going to very quickly show you how you can apply the different fonts. We'll do a quick exercise and move on to the next concept. The first step is you need to select what font you want to, or what cell you want to format. So this is the cell, for example, I want to format. I will click on the format option, which is there on the cells group. I hope you all can see my screen. Yes, you can click on this and there is an option called as format cells. As you click on this format cells, a font size font group will open. This is called a font list box. So if I click on this font, these are the different options through which you can select the font style, the size, and whether you want to strike through, you want to make it like a formula. With superscript, one of the digit is up, subscript is one of the digit is low. What kind of way you want to actually print. So you can select the appropriate font. And once you have selected the appropriate font, you can definitely complete the formatting on that particular Excel sheet. So one of the very, very widely used options, and I'm very sure most of you would know also, this is one of the very, very widely used things that we will have. Now, see, a lot of people make worksheets, isn't it? But your worksheet will begin to stand out once you begin to add more formatting attributes. Anybody knows how, most of us know how to add text, font, and font styles and all. But how can you say my Excel sheet is a good one? A simple change to a bold style in your Excel sheet will draw the eye to important information in your tables, isn't it? Let's say huge amount of data is there, or your ability to rotate, indent the text. These are the different things which you can in a superb way you can do it. So there are different font size attributes which we have got, which we are going to look in a minute. So let's do one thing very quickly. In order to practice this, I am going to share my screen with that particular, and I want you to do step number 1 to 11. Let's quickly do the step number 1 to 11 and try to understand how we can actually use the font group and the different options which we have. I hope my screen is visible. Only 1 to 11 very quickly we are going to do and move to the next step. The other beautiful things that you can do over here is you can always orient your text. I hope you can able to see these options, right? These are the other things you can do. Orient your text using some specific degrees. You can orient. So again, another feature in Excel, hidden feature, but one of the powerful. It will put your text in a specific degree. Now, the next thing that we wanted to talk about is a feature in Excel where you can merge your cells, you can center your cells, and that can be done across the horizontal and across the vertical, right? Imagine I had got this Excel sheet with me. The name of this Excel sheet is Joyco Pharmaceuticals sale figures. I got Jim Smith, Kim Jameson, Ellen Wood, and then I've got January, February, March. These are the different months. These are the different sales that I have. And I wanted to merge it. So what I could do, let's have a look. In order to merge and center your cells, you will just select the cells you want to merge and you want to put it in the center. So very carefully observe this particular sheet that we have. Joyco Pharmaceuticals, the entire text, this entire cells that you can see, they have been merged, and the Jollyco Pharmaceuticals text is written all in between because it is representing as a heading. It is representing a heading. So that is why this feature is one of those features which makes your text look really good, and it also puts a lot of information onto your text. Okay. Any Excel sheet that you have, doesn't matter Jollyco sales figure or not, if you don't have that, but any Excel sheet with data you have, can you very quickly do the first 3 steps and see that you are comfortable with this concept? So just merge and center the cells and write done in the chat if you have done it. I will wait for all of you to complete it. Just do these 3 steps, write done in the chat. Try to do as many things as you can with me in this. If I just keep giving you concepts for 2 hours, some things you would remember, some things you will not remember. So the best thing is this PDF file will be shared with you in detail. If you are able to do all the steps one by one of this Excel sheet, it will give you immense confidence. It will give you immense confidence if you've done this. So let's try to do as much as we can from this Excel sheet. All right, I'm getting some dones. Perfect. Now this is something I'm not sure. How many of you have looked at this option? Basically when you talk about Excel sheet at an advanced level, you can do a lot of things with the cell style. There is a palette on the styles group of the home ribbon. So if you go to the Excel sheet in the home ribbon styles group, this is the styles group. I hope you can see. You can do conditional formatting. You can create data bars of different gradients. Can you see the screen? Color scales. You can create icon sets. So these are some of the things which really help you put a track of different things on your Excel sheet. Right? Let's have a look at how it looks like. So this is the conditional formatting that I wanted to do. I wanted to add some information. I have added good, bad, neutral. I've got different color shades which I can use. This is very, very powerful. All you need to do, where you have to go for this option, just click on this group, styles group. In the home ribbon, just click on the styles group, and that's all. That's all we have to do. Okay. For this, there is an assignment, calls taken, or any workbook you can take, and you can do this assignment as a homework or something that you can practice. See, but I just wanted to show you how you can put different color formats, how you can align your text at a different angle. Can you see different things that you can do? Superb. So you can do different things, make an Excel like this, put the content properly. So thanks to all the formatting options that we have. Now, whichever domain you're working in the field of IT or any kind of domain you're working, you might have to sometimes print your worksheet, right? So there are 3 things that you can actually learn in a couple of minutes with me. That is, how do you print a single worksheet? How do you print a particular selection? And how do you use the advanced printing techniques? Okay, so these are the different things we are going to look into one by one. So the very first thing, let's have a look. Let's try to understand what is the meaning of printing a single worksheet. Let's say I have previewed my work and it is ready to be printed. I can do that using this option. Particularly, when your worksheets are small, it's always a safe bet to use the print button on the file tab drop down menu. So what I want you all to explore is go to the file tab, open the drop down menu, and you will see a print option like any other MS Office product. right? So in order to print your particular sheet, you can use a print dialog box. I will show you the snapshot for the same so that it is easy for you to find. You will go to the file tab and you will see a print button option. As you click on the print button option, you will see a printer icon, the number of copies that you want to make, where do you want to print, what are the different active state sheets which are available. Here you can pass on what exactly you wanted to print on this Excel sheet. So these are the steps, guys. Open the file tab, choose the print. On the print setting page, please select the desired options and choose print to print your document. Can we quickly do this exercise with any Excel sheet? Don't worry about the correct data sheet or anything. Any Excel sheet, please do all these 4 steps. Write down in the chat and we will go ahead. Click on the file tab. Yes, Muhammad After, very good. There is a shortcut. You remember Control P is the shortcut as well, correct? Right? Everybody saw that option? Clicking on the file and the print option. Please write done. Okay, Geoman done, Mohan done, Priya Reddy done, Aftab done. Superb. Many a times you would also like to preview your page even before you want to print it. You want to preview it just to save your paper, just to make sure no accidental printing has happened. So you can always preview. But remember, this icon on the printing side, when you are printing, show margin, zoom controls, this icon is very, very important, right? This will give you a preview, and in addition to that, it will also show you the margin. It will show you the different zoom controls which are available, right? So always make sure you have clicked the zoom button, you scroll to see the areas of page properly, and then zoom button again you should click if you need to restore the page size, right? So these are the different things which you can do when you are printing. On my PDF file that I will be sharing with you, you will see different activities which you can do. You can, for example, the first option will be clicking the file tab, choosing the print, clicking on the zoom button, click the next page button to see more pages. I want all of you to try this whenever you are going through this PDF, right? So that you get a proper understanding of the print and you get more information on how to print the sheets. All right, are we ready for the next? Any questions? We've been going on for 30 minutes. Is there any questions that you want to put it in the chat? Please feel free to put it. Let me take some questions before we go ahead with the next topic. In the next topic, we will be talking about headers and footers on an Excel sheet. How do you create headers and footers on the Excel sheet? Any questions? Feel free to write it in the chat and I'll wait for you. All right, I can see no questions, nothing major concerns. If you want equal spaces in rows, how to do it quickly? So yesterday, this is a good question. So yesterday, we discussed that if all the rows, you want to do some action on all the rows and columns, you can always click on this option. I hope it's making sense. This is the option. If you click on this option, this actually makes a modification to the entire sheet. So let's say I wanted to make it all boxes in a smaller size. Click on this option and then just make it smaller. You will see the entire sheet has changed. Click on this option, this triangle button, take this up, and what it will do, make all the modifications. All right, is that clear? All right, good, Soumya. Glad to know you. It was found fine. Okay, so next what we are going to do is look into the headers and the footers. Many a times you want to put the company name, details, some information in the footer section, different things you can do, right? So what we can do with headers and footers is you can by default print the worksheet name in the header, right? That is option 1. The option 2 is you can actually use the header and the footer option, which is right here. Can we all locate a header and footer option and write it in the chat? Where exactly did you find it in the Excel sheet? Which group, which tab? Header and footer. Which group are you all going and which tab are you going? Can we quickly write it down? Page layout. Okay, Rahul. And then where do we go next? Where do we go next? Insert text. Okay. What else? I want the exact steps. How do you find? Can you quickly go to your Excel sheet, whichever you have opened, locate the header and the footer and show me or tell me the options? Insert option under the menu bar. All right. Insert option under the menu bar. Very good, Khushbu. The text. Okay. Nobody is giving me the correct path. Okay, so we click on the insert tab, very good, and then click on the text. All right, so let's open our Excel sheet and try to find where exactly it is. So we were on the home page initially when we started. We'll click on the insert option and right in the text, you can click on this options of header and footer. As you click on this option of header and footer, it will ask you exactly what kind of header and what kind of footer do you want, or where exactly do you want. You know, the very good thing about Microsoft product is that there are so many things. Many of these things you won't explore, right? You might think, you know, footer can be put it in one way. No, but look at these different templates in which the header and the footer can be added. See, you can place the header, you can click here to add the data, and finally you can also add a footer here. So really powerful section. All those who are not able to navigate, please click on the insert and the text option. Click on the drop down and I'm sure it will show you the option of the header and the footer. Yes, all good. Any information regarding your company's name, your company's address, all those things you can do using the headers and the footer option. I'm going to give you a small activity. Can you please try adding a header and adding a footer in the Excel sheet? Go to the insert option, right? Click on the text and add a header, add a footer. That's all, and click OK. Let me know if it is done. Okay, Pankaj, what does the footer do? So Pankaj, sometimes when you are printing some documents, what exactly would you put it in a footer? Let's say page numbers or any information that you want that it should be there on the bottom right of your page. You can add a footer there to add page numbers or maybe any kind of an information. Okay, some people will put in the headers, they will put the date, name of the company. In footer, they will put the page numbers, right? This is what you can do. Done? Okay, I can see some dones. This gives me a motivation to move ahead and give you the next very important concept. Now, one question I have from all of you is, you know, sometimes you don't like the grid lines. What are the grid lines? This on the Excel sheet, you can see these different lines, right? Let's go back. I'm just going to close this and open. Let's open an Excel sheet. So many times you don't like to have these grid lines, these lines on this Excel sheet for any reason. You want to draw a diagram or whatever. Okay. What can you do? There is an option where you can actually remove these grid lines. They are called as grid or grid lines, right? How we can do that? You need to go to the page layout tab. Can we all try this? Please go to the page layout tab. And how many of us can actually see an option called as, there will be an option somewhere which says print grid lines checkbox. Yes, let me navigate it to you now. Page layout is the option. Kindly go to the grid lines and this view option is there. Just click a out check on this. And what you will see that there are no grid lines. So page layout, and this is the option. Please try and write done in the chat if you've done this. All right, I can see a lot of dones. Most of us were able to do. Priya ready, shall I repeat it? Okay, I'm going to quickly show you again. We were on the home page. Click on the page layout. Priya, please do this with me. Click on the page. Sarita, I'm repeating. Yes, click on the page layout. Under this grid lines option, can you see this view option? This view options will always be initially enabled. All right, everyone? Yes, good. It will be always enabled by default because that is how an Excel sheet is actually written. The software behind Excel is written that like this. It will always be there. You want to hide it. How can I hide it? Just get this off. Click on this view option and now you will be able to see no grid lines at all. No grid lines at all. Yes, Priya clear? Sarita clear? Any questions now? Anyone wants me to repeat this step? Okay. Let me read in the chat. Done. Sayyid Ahmed, done. Superb. Good job. Let's try to take as much as we can in this session, but I'll be very honest, Excel is huge. You cannot complete everything in one go. Right. So once you have removed the grid, because when I talk about grid lines, we discuss it will be always be visible in the normal worksheet window. So if you want to remove this, you can always do this in a way. Now, what I want you to do is, once you have done this step, I want you to do this exercise, which is in my PDF on this section on your home. And I'll move to this next part of the PDF in which we will talk about where you want to print a particular selection. All right. So when I talk about worksheets, especially which are used in business, they can be very huge, very large, and you don't want to print everything. You don't want to waste money, time, and paper in printing everything. But let's say if you want to print the whole workbook, this is the option where you can go to File tab, Print. In the Print dialog box, you can select what area, right, that you want to print. So these are the 3 steps. Open the File tab, click Print, and finally in the Print dialog box, print what area you want to print by just selecting that particular option. Okay, let's do a quick exercise on this, and we'll do this in the class so that we get an idea on this. Any Excel sheet that you are using right now, doesn't matter. Can you do this 4 steps on this? See, select the range A1 to J15. From the File tab, click Print, and in the Print, what area you want to select the selection option button and choose Print. Yes, Naga, I will definitely share this PPT. This is all for you. PDF is for you. Don't worry. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. Can we all try this and write done in the chat? I'm going to wait for everybody to complete. No rush. I want lot of dones. Try the area, go to File tab, click Print. And in the Print, what area, select the selection option button. Megha done, Sarita done. Superb. Everyone try. I'm going to wait for you. I'm reading through the chats and there is one very good question. Chetan, Control F2, right? Yes, Control F2 is a shortcut. It will open the print window, dear. Right? When you can preview, where you can print your command. Okay. And there is one more shortcut, Chetan, Alt Shift F2. You know what is that? Alt Shift F2, save your document. Okay. That is another shortcut. I hope that helped. Don't worry about remembering too many shortcuts. If you know, definitely that aids you, that helps you, in remembering this concept. Remember how Excel is so powerful. It can do so much things with data analytics and all, right? So yes, if you know shortcuts, it makes your life easy. Okay, last 1 minute. Let's quickly complete and let's move to the next topic. I want to cover as many things as possible today. All right. Please write done if it's done and let's go ahead. All right, superb, lot of dones. This gives me an encouragement. Let's move ahead. Within printing, one last thing that we have to do is you can use the print areas, right? Let's say you're working on a very big worksheet. You can save your time by just printing only the parts you need, what you think will be beneficial for printing. In order to select the print area, these are the steps. To set a print area, 1, 2, 3. To remove a print area, 1 and 2. Can we all try this? Because if I keep doing and showing it to you, in a minute you will forget. But once you've done it with your hands, with your own Excel sheet, you will remember it. Okay, yeah, this is what we did. You're going to think, right? So there's no problem for me to show you. Just this is the option, this is the option, this is the option. But if you do it with me, that will be definitely useful. So please go to your worksheet, select the area you want to print. Go to the page layout tab. Now everybody knows, right, where to go to the page layout. Go to the page layout tab, this one. And then click the print area button. There will be a small drop down. You will see print area drop down in the sub menu. You can choose set print area and that's all we have to do. If you want to remove it, the option is, the button is clear print area. Okay. SS Money Mozi, any option to have uniform column width? Yeah, there is one option. See, for example, let me bring back my grid lines. I think this is something which you're asking. I wanted that this entire Excel sheet has a column little bit bigger. Let's make column width like this, so something like G. But rather than making everything by dragging and dropping, this is on the top left corner. You can see an icon. You can click on this icon and you will see that if you double click anywhere here, you will see it will modify the column width of the entire cell. So just click on this and make the modification the way you want to. Okay. Always remember, any change you want to make to the sheet, just make it here. All right, coming back to this sheet, this particular PDF. Let's all try this. Khushbu, one more question, how you can select different cells. So let's say I wanted to select L2 and D9. Khushbu, what you can do is just click on this cell, press the control key and select the other cell. See, these are the different. Oh my God, it looks like that game we used to play. What was the name of that game? Minesweeper? I forgot. What was the name of that game? It used to fill in the bricks and boxes, right? So control is the answer, Khushbu. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to my PDF one more time. These are the steps. Let me know if you are able to print a particular area and you are also able to clear the print area. Please let me know. Write done in the chat. Within the printing, let's move on. Within the printing, you would have seen an option of portrait and landscape. So if you want to print your particular Excel sheet in this format, please have a look. Better Coffee Limited is the name of the company, and the sales report is what I have in front of me. If I wanted to print a portrait layout, this is how I can print it. If I want to print a landscape layout, this is how I can print it. There are options, right? If you remember looking at it last time on the print option, you've got portrait and landscape. So that can be configured depending upon what kind of page you are actually using. And imagine there are so many things. We're not even able to close the print command. You can align the printouts. You can put specific margins. Click on the page layout, margins. You want a normal margin. You want a wide margin, you want a narrow margin, or even Excel doesn't stop there. You can even customize your margin. See, your custom margins option, very, very important. And what are the steps? Use the page layout tab, click the margins button, and select the desired margin settings. Let's try to find out what it says. Let's follow this PDF. So I'm going to quickly come to this option, and it says go to page layout tab. This is the page layout tab. And then within this, you can see this margins option. You can customize the margins by clicking on custom margins, where you can set the header and the footer, the sheet. You can put the page order here. You can put the margins, and you can set the landscape and the portrait, both the modes. The option that I reached here was page layouts margins. All right, I hope that made sense. Sometimes we have to this option that you're seeing, adjust to 100% normal size. Sometimes there is a requirement that if your worksheet is no longer than a page, if it's a bigger, so what you can do, you can shrink it. You can shrink it so that it prints all on one page, right? Just save your paper. If your worksheet is only slightly longer than one page, you probably won't notice a difference. But let's say if your worksheet is quite large, and when you shrink it to fit in one page, it will be printed in a very, very small size, because it has to adjust itself, isn't it? So it will reduce the font size. And this is very, very true when you have many rows and very few columns, or vice versa. All right. So when you talk about an Excel page setup dialog box, you can specify the number of pages you want for the worksheet to print. So see this option in front of you, adjust to 100% normal size, fit to one page. So if you want to fit the document onto a desired number of pages, let me bring in front of you some steps that you can do. Let's all do this 4-5 steps together. Please try, write down in the chat, and then let's take a short break. We've been sitting on for an hour. I want all of you to leave Excel for some time, relax, take a break. And then when you come back, why not? We are going to look at new things. Okay, let's quickly try this. So it says on the page layout, click on the page setup group. And once you are in the page setup group, click the dialog box launcher, which is right in the bottom corner. I'm waiting for all of you to find it. Please let me know if you found it. Found it? Very good. And then select the page tab. And on the page tab in the scaling area, select the fit or adjust to the option. That's all you need to do. That's it. Found it, German? Okay, the small arrow, you found it, right? Most of you found it. Even if you don't find it, no worries. I'm going to show it to you now. So page layout, page setup. Can you see this very small icon? Look at my cursor. I know it is very difficult to find. I'm with you. So click on this. And this is the one which I was saying you. If you want to fit it into one page, why not? You can click on OK. And your entire sheet will be printed, ready on one particular page. Particularly, if you have an Excel sheet with data, it will be definitely very, very useful. All right, done. Everybody's done till this step. So you had to click on page layout tab in the page setup group, click the dialog box launcher. You got some spinner buttons also. Spinner are those increasing, decreasing buttons, isn't it? You can click on that and you can definitely select the correct option. please stay tuned with Skill Slash so that new workshops that we conduct, you are part of those workshops. Okay, superb. We are going to understand the next concept, which is called as page breaks. What is a page break? Some horizontal lines, right? Some vertical lines which are not normal but kind of a dashed lines, isn't it? So vertical or horizontal dashed lines which will be in a normal view is nothing but a page break. Okay, so when you edit multi-page documents, you will see that you sometimes have to put a page break to tell, okay, this is the place where we have to stop. This is the place where new page is kind of new page has to start. So in the version 2010, using page breaks was very easy. Okay, so we will look into different options and we will try to create page breaks. This one shows you one of the examples of page breaks. So this is my Excel sheet which says Mortgages Direct Information Center. You can see that after this, I don't want to give any information. So I put a page break here. So it could be a vertical page break or it could be a horizontal page break. This is a page break preview. But I'm going to show you now, right? We have to do this practically to see how we can create a page break. Can we all try this? Let's do it together. I want all of you to open the worksheet. Okay. And okay, some of you are asking me about the PDF. So for everybody's comfort, what I will do, I will, once I finish this PDF, I will put it in the chat. You can download it directly. But the team will also make sure that they provide you with this PDF. You can download it from the email that they sent. But for everybody's comfort, I know most of us are really excited and willing and they're very happy with my PDF. I will share it with you in the chat. Okay, so don't worry. Right. You no need to give me email addresses. Won't be able to email all the 114 participants. I'll put it in the chat. Worst case, if you're not able to download from the chat, team will share it with you. It will be sent to your emails. Don't worry. All right, let's continue. So what I want all of you to do, okay, I think we no need to send emails, please. You registered to this workshop with your email ID, right? Don't send your emails. Please focus on this. Your emails are already with us. That is what, yes, they were, you registered, right? You would have given your email address. So you will receive on them. Okay, superb. So on this workshop view group, in the view tab, go to the page break preview. Go to this option. Look for this option quickly. Let me see who can do it quickly. Workbook view group in views tab. Done. Okay. If you have done this, don't wait. Move to the next step. What is the next step? The next step says you have to just choose the page break preview. And if you don't want it, just go to views group, views tab and choose normal. That's all. Quite straightforward. View group, views tab. Okay, time for me to show it to you now. This was the home, which was our initial. We'll click on the view. As we click on the view, you will see this page break preview. Click on this page view break and you will see these different options. Can you see these different options? And you can see a grayed area, right? You can all see a grayed area. So you can now right click a cell below and to the right of the new page. This is the next step I want you to do. Right click a cell below and to the right of new page. And then just choose insert page break. That's all. Please follow these steps. And from this menu, choose the insert page break. Let me know once you found out this option and you've done it. Waiting for all to write done. Done, done, done. Okay. Found. Okay. Superb. The next step that you want to do, if you don't want to keep it, just remove the page break by clicking on the choose remove break option. That's all. That's all you have to do. Okay. So within this PDF, there will be some exercises which you can do on the page break. All right. The next topic, the next thing that we will look into is how you can set the print tiles option. So let's say if my worksheet is more than a page, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 pages. Sometimes what will happen, it will become very difficult to read, especially when you are printing it, right? So because the main reason here is, see, because the column or the row headings that is there on the one page only. So it's not sure what data is on the subsequent pages, right? So imagine I had let me just open a existing Excel sheet where there is some information, or maybe just blank will also do. So I just clicked on one of the Excel sheets, and let's say I had some columns. As I scroll down to this Excel sheet, you can see that the heading will not be there permanently for you. It will be, when you just scroll down, you will see it, the heading has gone. So it becomes sometimes very difficult to read what is written, right? But thanks to Excel's features, you can definitely use the print tile option and you can fix a particular area. Let's have a look how we can do it. These are the 6 steps that we should follow. In the page layout tab, please navigate everyone. Go to the page layout tab, not new for us. We know this, right? You will go to the page setup option and there will be a option called print tiles. Right? I hope everybody's finding this. And on the sheet page, there is one area which says print tiles. Here there is an option, click the rows to repeat at the top, columns to repeat at the left. Can you see these options? Okay. And if you found that, what you can do, you can just select the rows that you wanted to repeat. That's all. And press enter. Press OK. Very, very useful feature. This is very useful feature. It will just freeze your sheet. Now time for me to show you how we can do it. This is my Excel sheet. I clicked on the page layout option. Click on the print tiles. In the print tiles, whatever you want to repeat, whether the rows or the column, in this print tiles section, click on rows to repeat at the top. Click on this option, and whichever rows you want to repeat, you can select it. So what am I doing? I'm selecting this particular row. Press enter, and just if you think that is done, that is all that you wanted, you don't want to do anything else, you can just click on OK and all good. Now if you see, the scrolling has stopped and this page information is there. Let's try to add some data here, 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm going to just quickly drag all the information all the way till the below. So what's going to happen? You can see that it has actually logged it. But again, if you are trying to put more information, you will be able to scroll depending upon the information that you have. Okay, I hope this is clear. Any questions? Okay, so this way it will help you to repeat your rows and your columns. Whichever option you want to select, it will repeat your rows and it will repeat your columns. Okay, are we ready for the next tip on Excel sheet? Okay, in the next tip that we are going to discuss now, we are going to look into a concept which is very, very powerful, and that concept came actually in version 2013. So I will show you some top features which you can explore in the Excel sheets. All right. So what I'll do is the top features to explore. Let's have a look into different things you can do. In the version 2013, your templates that you inbuilt templates that you use have been enhanced. That is the point number one. Latest, all your templates, what are there? They are latest templates. Okay, that is the first striking feature which has got introduced. You can do a lot of data analysis. So there is a quick analysis tool which you can do to do a lot of data analysis. You can fill out an entire column of data in a flash. What is the option? Flash fill. It's kind of a data assistant tool. It's kind of a tool which helps you to really put all the information. Let's say you wanted to put the same data in a particular screen. You can use a flash fill option. Okay, let me show it to you how it works. So rather than searching, one more thing I wanted to show you. If you don't know where exactly flash fill option is there, just select for flash fill, because you remember this, what it does, right? So in this flash fill option, all you need to do is when you click this option, fill series or pattern, you can specify how you want to fill it in a right, up, left, series, or justify. Let's say I want to do right. So you will see on clicking on right, this has filled entire data. From the left to right, it has filled the entire data that I had. Okay, can we try this option? Let me show it to you one more time. Just search for fill option. Fill right, and it will write all the information for you. Okay, please, I'm waiting for you to complete this and write done in the chat. All right, I hope all of you have got sufficient time to look into it. Page layout option, or basically search it anywhere, fill right, and that will help you to put the data, same data, multiple times. So depending upon where you want to put, right, left, any option, you can select and you can add the data. All right, next thing that we want to look into, there are some more things which we can do. The first important thing that we want to learn here is the different file types you can choose from, and you can save your file in Excel 20, whatever version. Actually, it got introduced in 2013, but now you can save it in different formats. So let us try to understand the different formats in which you can store. So when I click on this file types, you can see that there is one way which is called as Excel workbook. This is the first file extension .xlx. That is the full information, full path or the extension. Okay. So in order to save it, just save it as .xlss, right? If you want to save a workbook, if it does not have macros or Microsoft Visual Basic applications, you can use it. There is one more which is Excel SM. You can save your workbook as this type when you have macros. Macros are some inbuilt code that you write on your Excel sheets using the VBA. Okay, so if you have Excels and VBA code and macros, kindly use Excel SM. You can use Excel TX in case you want to need a template. You have a requirement of a template. You can use Excel TM. I know this is not easy to remember, but this sheet will be with you, this PDF will be you, so you can always refer to it, right? So try to grasp as much as you can. Excel TM you will use when you want to save your workbook, when you have a template, a particular template you are using. You can have Excel SB, particularly when it is a very large workbook, right? This file will open very fast than your existing Excel. Okay, we've got .xls, which is the normal version, and star.xls you can store using your Microsoft Excel 5.0 95 workbook. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next thing that we've got, and that is the ribbon. I know we discussed it, but now we are going to explore some new things on the ribbon, which is not there in the older versions. So where you see on the top left ribbon, there is a file tab. As you're clicking on it, you will see the close, open, new, print, exit, different options you can see, right? So there are some changes which has happened. So in the latest version, the biggest change has happened in the visual point of view, right? That has happened. So old toolbars and menu systems that we used to have in the Excel sheet, they have all been now replaced in the latest versions, just to make it a better user interface, just to give a better user, understanding. And the whole revamping happened, and new things came up, like tabs, groups, commands. So how many tabs we have? 7. How many groups we have? Every tab will have its own group, isn't it? We saw that every tab will have its own groups. We have got commands. Commands are the text or the buttons that we have put for each and every menu, right? So these 3 things, if you remember, it makes it very easy for us to use this Excel sheets. Okay, superb. Let's move on to the next. And in the next thing we are going to look into, let me just move my PDF ahead. We want to look into the different commands on the display when you need them. So do one thing, click on the insert and look into the recommended charts option. Right? Most of you were able to find it. Click on the file, the insert option and the different graphs. So these different options were also introduced in the latest versions, where you can visually look at the different things which you can create. The other very exciting feature which was built in the Excel was very extended options related to tasks at hand. So if you look at this, when you click on format cells, what are the differences? So many different information just clubbed under one modal, one window. So this is again one of the very striking features in the recent Excel sheets that we've got. Okay. The next very striking option that we have is the quick access toolbar. How many of us know what is quick access toolbar and what is the benefit of a quick access toolbar? Let's say there are some of the controls that you use a lot. You use them a lot. This is a feature not only in Excel. This is a feature which is there in all the MS projects for easy access. So let's say I use save a lot. On this top left, you can see there is a quick access toolbar, which can help you access information or basically some commands which you use a lot. In order to customize this whole bar, this quick access toolbar, you can click on this option like this, and you can see there are some options like new, open, email, print view. As you click on these options, you can see they get added on the top, right? If you're not happy with them, you can also remove them by right clicking on these options. And the same thing, you can try it with MS Word also, PowerPoint also you can do. And let's say if you want to look into more commands, you can click on this option, right? As you click on this more commands option, what you can do, you can select some options from here, click on add, and they will keep getting added. If you don't want a particular option, you can just click on this remove and come back. I will wait all of you to try this quick access toolbar now. See different things you can do. Try to add things in quick access toolbar. Try to remove things from quick access toolbar. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes. Please try. I'll wait for you, and then let's quickly move to the next concept. All right, did you find the version? So any Word document that you have, kindly open that, choose the file from top left corner, and then just search for the Office version under product information. Any MS project you can get it done. And it's always good, any product you are using, any software you are using, make sure you use the latest one, because the latest one will have all the new things in it, isn't it? So go for the latest version. All right, time for me to share some shortcuts with you now. Shortcut keys are available. Let's have a look at it. Please observe my PDF, everyone. So what we're going to do, different key tips are there. If you want to see all the shortcuts, I'll give you the easiest way to do that. This is the Excel sheet that I've opened, isn't it? If you just press the Alt key, can you all try this thing? Press the Alt key with your Excel open. You will see some icons, and all it is telling you the different shortcuts. You don't even need to remember them. Click on the Alt H, N, P for page layout, M for formulas, for data A, for review R. Can you see? For view W, for help Y. So these are the different options that we've got, which helps us to use the shortcuts. So when you press the Alt, it will show all the key tips. They're called key tips. Okay. And then you press H. What it will do, it will select the home tab. Very powerful feature. Press the Alt and then just press H. Can you see that? Press Alt and then press Alt H. It will open the home option for you. So quite intuitive features we've got. And then press A, then press C. You will see the alignment group. You can see, you can center the selected text. A lot of things you can do. Okay. So if you rely on the keyboard more than your mouse, you will definitely need the shortcuts. Not everybody might need more. Some people are very comfortable with the mouse. But if you're not comfortable with the mouse, keyboard shortcuts. All right, I hope everybody's tried this feature. Let's move on to next. We can also use a page layout view. So there is a new page layout view which has been introduced in new Excel sheets with good column headings, row headings, different margin rulers. That is another very important feature that has been introduced in the latest Excel sheets. Along with that, the different screen resolutions is also introduced. So when I talk about screen resolution, what does it mean? It means that all the commands that you are currently looking into, they are really high resolution commands. So when I talk about in low resolutions, you really need to click the arrow on the group button to display the command. So when I go to this Excel sheet, every time I want something extra, what I need to do, I need to look into this small arrow. Can you see? This is arrow 1. Arrow 2, this is arrow 3. So click on this and then it launches the product, the next view things. So that is the difference here. So what I will show you, how does it look like in a low resolution? How does it look like in a high resolution? All right, let's have a look. So let's say if your screen is set to a low resolution, let's say it's around 800 by 600 pixels only. So what will happen? You will have a few groups on the ribbon that will display just the group name, because they have to adjust too many things, right? So in 800 by 600 resolution, you will see the show or the hide button. You will never see the commands in this particular group. That will never happen. right? In contrary to this, in particular, if you have the groups which display only the group name in small resolution, they are normally the ones which are less frequently used commands. So MS Office has been very nicely organized that way, right? The other resolution is minimized. So at any resolution, if you are making your Excel window smaller, or shrinker, there is a size at which some groups will display only the group names, right? And you will click the arrow on the group button to display the different commands. You've got tablets, PCs option. So let's say if you're working on a tablet PC with a very small screen, you will notice that, in fact, you should try these different options. You will see that the ribbon will adjust itself to show you the smaller versions of the tabs and the groups. Okay, so these are the different things that you can see in the minimized option in the tablet PCs options. Okay, can we all read this? If you want to read it from my PDF, please have a look. This is what we've been talking about: minimized view and the tablet PCs view. All right, we've read through. Can we go ahead? All right. Now, these are some references that I wanted to share with all of you. Very, very important references. OfficeMicrosoft.com. If you want, I can definitely share this link also with all of you in the chat so that it is easy for you. Let me just quickly share it with you. Just open this once. See the different information which is available here. Just give me a second. Let me put this link in the chat. As you click on this, just explore these different things that you see on this website. And I would now like to also show you this link. Let me also open this once and share my screen. Yes, I think now my screen should be visible. So see, these are some of the new things that you can continue to see in different versions. This is a very recommended. If you are a MS Excel user, you should definitely keep an eye on the new things, new stuff which has come. So for example, in the latest MS Office, what has come, what new features have come, you should always keep exploring them. Also keep trying. One thing, unique thing they do is they will also give you a tour in the beginning. Let me show it to you. Here, for example, they give you a tour of the chart title, the different pivot diagrams that you create, different options you've got, right? So this is very, very powerful and very good thing to do. Always make sure you explore this new versions on this supportmicrosoft.com website. All right, new features. Yes, you have to try. Yes, world map is there, plus you can see different things, right? So make it a point whenever you are using any MS project or any MS Word or Excel or PowerPoint, keep yourself updated on this particular link. This always gives you the correct and authenticated information. All right, I think we can review this later, right? Towards this end of my PPT, you all will be seeing different components. This PDF has been built by me on the Excel for the Excel sheet, but you can see some general navigational tips, right? I hope you all can see my screen. So these are some general navigations. What will be the benefit of the tab? But I would request you to go through these links only and only once you have, go through the shortcuts. Once you've finished the previous pages of this PDF, they are just the shortcuts. So once you know where the different options are, then you should go into this last set of pages. So what is in the latest version 14, 19, different things that you can do. Okay. And what I will do now is, because some of us were interested in this PDF, I am going to drop this PDF in the chat. Okay, the team will also share it to you over the email. I'm going to share it with you. Can you all see this, please? And you can download. I'll give you a minute to download it. Done. Okay. Everybody done? Are you able to download it? Do you want me to drop it again? No, some of you are not able to get it. Okay. Not a problem. Let me put it again for you. Are you able to visualize it now? No, it is definitely there. Many of us can view it. Worst case, you're not able to view it. Nothing to panic, nothing to worry. Team will share it with you. All right. Okay. Questions time. Anything you want to ask with what we've covered? Any questions we've got? Yes, I've shared it in the chat. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to ask me from what we've covered? Any topic not clear or anything that comes out of your mind you tried and you were not sure? So the certificate that is for this workshop, if you have attended the yesterday's and the today's session fully, the certificate will definitely be provided. Okay, the certificate will definitely be provided to you. Just make sure you check your email properly in the junk, or sometimes it's not recognized sender, so you can just check it, and I'm sure all the content and everything will be provided it to you. Okay, some of you are using mobile phones, maybe that is why you're not able to download the PDFs, but if you're taking the session from laptop, I think there should not be any problem. Okay, so we will soon be conducting in upcoming year some advanced workshops in which we'll just talk about formulas, just talk about different exhaustive things which we can do in Excel sheet in detail about pivot tables, because as of now we all know what's a pivot table, right? Some kind of an information that we can show in the form of charts and graphs. And if you want to practice pivot tables, you can just search for pivot and make sure your Excel sheet has some data, right? So you can do that. So in upcoming months, we will definitely conduct some more workshops. So please be with us, stay tuned, and look for more and more workshops with us. All right. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining, and I wish you all the good luck. It was wonderful to connect with you. Could not hear any one of you. All were mute just to make sure it is one to many communication. But it was lovely to read your chats, and thank you for your all time that you've spent. And this is just the beginning. The PDF will be shared. Make sure not only the PDF, try to explore Excel more and more, right? And I really hope to see you all in near future. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Let's all catch up very soon. All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, Rishi. Bye, Khushbu. Bye, Mohan. Bye-bye, everyone. The recordings will be there in the YouTube channel. The link was already shared with you. Yes, it's there on the YouTube channel. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, and wish you all the good luck. Bye-bye, everyone.